Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Council of the Whills. Today is July 31st, 2017. I'm Jane,
I'm Jen.
I'm Amber.
and we're back to talk about Star Wars. Really, it's been a crazy week with D23 and San Diego Comic Con, and this is going to be a very, very, very news heavy episode. If we decided to do news and a theory, it would be 4 hours long. So, to kind of keep things more interesting and keep things from getting too stagnant, we're going to split this up with just a news episode and then a theory episode. And with that said, let's get started. So, the first thing on the agenda is to discuss the Forces of Destiny. All of the episodes that were going to be released have come out. And just on a broad note, what did we all think of them?
I love them. I thought that they were cute and like expanded characters in good ways that didn't detract from movies. It only added to them.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think they didn't do as much world building as I was hoping they would. But I also, I guess, went into it thinking they were going to be like TV show style in the sense that they'd be like 15 minutes long and actually have like longer plots instead of just like little one shots. But I did like them. I think it really just kind of cemented who these characters were, and I liked it.
I thought they were really good. A bit of a nerdy reference to the Ray episodes was the alien that ate the metal. I don't know how many people like to play Metal Gear Solid, but I love Metal Gear Solid. And the director of the games, Hideo Kojima, he did the voice of that alien. And
Oh, that's cool.
yeah,
Ooh,
and it's the same voice in the Force Awakens movie too. So when I heard, like, wait a second, that's Kojima's voice. That makes me happy. But yeah,
nice.
I like that. That's cool.
I mean, Konami screwed him over, so Lucasfilm threw him a bone. Yeah, I liked them. I thought they were interesting. I thought that they, as you guys said, they expanded on the world without giving you a ton of story. And I wish they would have incorporated more story. But I mean, for a couple minutes, there's only so much you can do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just kind of cute because you could tell that they were just kind of people in a boardroom like, what would happen with Ray if this happens? Like, what could we do to show that Jen is this? And like they just kind of threw little ideas out there. Like they were scenes that you would like deleted scenes from a movie that they would have done if they'd had more time.
Yeah.
That's a good way to put it. What I do think is interesting is all the controversy they kind of stirred up. I don't understand it. It's like they're stories for young kids. I don't understand why people are getting so angry about it.
Because the internet likes to get angry about things, and I don't know. That's basically the only reaction that I can have at all. It's on the internet.
As far as I can tell, a lot of it has to do with the idea that they focused on all the female characters. And I don't know why people get so up in arms about that. But, I mean, I thought they were cute. I thought they were great. And, I mean, we have movies dedicated to the male characters. Like, we can have some one-shots with Rey and Jin and Leia.
Tim? Oh no, it was about Rebels. As somebody asked if Darth Vader would be in Rebels, and the response was, "You already have 3 movies, Anakin," or something ridiculous like that
I
on
think I,
Twitter.
That's fabulous.
I think I saw that.
Which is kind of true. It's, we're getting to see characters that don't feature, some characters that don't feature as prominently in the movies as or in the TV shows as others, and it's great to build their character in this way.
Yeah. And I mean, I know we're going to get, 2 more movies where Rey is the center, and we had Rogue One where Jen is the center, but I think I don't know, I think it's nice because, like I said, like, we're getting a Han Solo movie. We already had the Luke Skywalker movie. We had the Darth Vader movie. Like, we've had all of these movies that are just been centered around men, and I think it's nice because the fandom is getting a little bit more female-friendly in that sense. And, like, I have a little cousin. I don't know how old she is offhand. I'm going to guess like 6 or 7 maybe. And she like loves Star Wars. Granted, like her dad loves Star Wars, but just she like built Mandalorian armor for Halloween. And so it's just really fun to see like little kids, little girls especially getting into Star Wars because like I'm so passionate about it. And it's great to see little girls just being really stoked on Star Wars, and I think Forces of Destiny really helps that and gears toward them in a lot of ways.
I definitely agree. I've read somewhere, and I don't remember the source. I don't remember if it was Pablo. I don't remember if it was Matt Martin or if it was on Making Star Wars. But I remember reading somewhere that we're going to get 8 more episodes of Forces of Destiny sometime in the fall, around October. And again, because I don't remember who said it, and it's going to drive me nuts until I find who said it. But what this person said was that Finn's going to be featured in one of the episodes, and that makes me really happy that we're going to see more of Finn.
I like that that is another way to also expand Finn, because he has a lot of backstory that can play into it. And then you can bring in Phasma, too, because she can be, if you want to kind of stick with the females.
Yeah.
I would love to see a Phasma episode. I would love to see anything from the Imperial perspective, because until recently, we haven't gotten anything from their point of view, and I would love to see something about Phasma in animated form.
Yeah, because we're just going to have, what, the book and the comic?
I think so.
Yeah.
So before we move on to our big news segments, I do want to reiterate that we are not a spoiler-free podcast. Our news stories are going to be ranked in order from most spoilery to least spoilery. So if you don't like spoilers, skip ahead, because our next 2 stories, or 3 stories, are going to be very spoiler-heavy for The Last Jedi. So the first story, and this happened only 3 days ago, a big set of Last Jedi character shoots were leaked online. We will have a link to them in the description bar. And when I saw this, I had just come home from school that day, and the internet was freaking out over it, and I couldn't find the albums anywhere because Disney took them down so quickly. So they look awesome. What do you guys think of them?
I think they're fabulous. I was just kind of browsing Tumblr, and I kind of saw them, and I got really excited because, you know, the ones of Rey kind of looked really similar to the Battlefront pictures we'd seen, some of the shots at least. It was cool to kind of see, like, just the generic shots of that. I thought they were really interesting to see. I love that one of Kylo just leaning forward has become a meme now. It's just so dumb.
I like how my first reaction on seeing like all the Kylo Ren ones was, man, Adam Driver can't do a normal photo shoot.
No.
Ever.
Well, as someone who did a little bit of photography studying, having your subject lean forward that way is really useful if you're trying to get a wind-blown effect without having to use the unpredictability of a fan. Because if you're just going to like crop them from the torso up, then it doesn't really matter what direction they're leaning. I don't know if that's where they were trying to go with it, if they were just trying to make his like hair look better or what. But considering that most of his photos, even though he's leaning forward, most of his photos, especially on the toy box, which is another leak, are cropped straight up, I'm assuming that's what they're doing.
That's probably what it is. I mean, you can even see it in one of the photos where it's him standing and like the bottom part of his tunic is flared out.
Yeah.
The Luke ones are also interesting because he is dressed up for traveling and has a walking stick, but no weapon that we can see.
Didn't they say that he carries around a stick to electrocute the porgs?
Wasn't that that was in the Making Star Wars leak, right?
I think. I don't know. I get all my information from Tumblr, let's be real.
Yeah, that's how that's the only way I could find these, because they got taken down off the internet so quickly, but Tumblr, everyone reblogged them. It's the only reason I was able to see these.
Yeah, I think that stick, that little walking stick he has, may be the thing he uses to electrocute the porgs, which I find hilarious because I love the porgs so much, and I can't imagine anyone wanting to hurt them, but I assume they're probably obnoxious as all get out.
It just makes me even more excited for the porgs. Not only are they cute, they're sassy.
Yeah.
So what did you guys think of the Snoke one? That one's caused quite a bit of controversy. People either love it or hate it.
Oh, it's terrifying, right? Like, that's the stuff of nightmares.
My first thought was, that's a great "Don't ever smoke, kids" ad.
Yeah, that's
it's terrifying, but it's interesting to look at, because you're like, you were human and you have human colored skin now.
Well, that's interesting because I think Pablo said that Snoke wasn't human. Someone asked him on Twitter if Snoke was a human or something to that effect, and he was like, no, Snoke isn't human. And then the guy got real, like, smart alecky with him and is like, okay, well, are there any humans in the Star Wars universe? And Pablo was like, yeah, Luke, Leia, Han, Rey, Finn. Not Kylo, though, weirdly enough.
I love Pablo.
Maybe he's like, let's not talk about him.
And Pablo hates Kylo. He will never bring him up willingly.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's weird to see this, like, humanoid figure that clearly looks like some sort of, like, aging, decrepit human. But then here comes Pablo all like, he's not human. Now, is he in a human shell?
Yeah.
At a minimum, he gets you asking questions. It's like, who is this guy? Why does he have holes and marks and scorching? And it looks like he's burned or something. Something's going on with him.
Yeah, that was... Ooh. Nah, I don't like looking at him very much. The blue eyes, though, that was a trip.
Well,
That was
listed in the Force Awakens art book. It said very specifically on the chapter about Snoke that he had piercing blue eyes, and that even when Snoke was originally designed as a woman, or they went back and forth between whether Snoke would be a man or a woman, and it was decided very late into the production process that no, this character is going to be a man. But the one thing that they kept was that they wanted him to have these really piercing blue eyes.
Well, they succeeded, so good job on them, I suppose. But yeah, it's interesting because everybody who hasn't been paying attention is like, oh, he's a Sith, he's a Sith. And those are clearly not Sith eyes. So I think that should probably put the kibosh on that whole argument.
Yeah,
I hope so.
It gets tiring hearing the same, Kylo's a Sith, Snoke is a Sith, you have the Jedi. It's like, there's no Sith in this, the Sith were destroyed. Darth Vader destroyed the Sith. It's done with. You know, this is a new character. It's a different take on, you know, the evil guys are the Sith and the good guys are the Jedi. And it's frustrating to hear people say and are just so, like, engrossed in this theory that, no, he's a Sith. But yeah. So I guess, does anyone have anything else to say on the photos?
Phasma looks fantastic. Finn is so ungodly Han Solo in his picture.
Dressed in Poe Dameron's clothes.
I can't go into that. No, I don't disagree. It's just pretty interesting in my opinion. But
I wonder if it was more like how they're going to explain it is, well, he's about his size and you know, the resistance is short on clothes, so it's like, well, you just share with me for now, or what they're going to do with that. But I that was one of the things I did also notice. I'm like, wait, that's like exactly his clothes. Exactly.
Well, I support it. I think it's good, especially because that jacket kind of became iconic Finn in the first movie. So
it's listed as a Finn jacket. It's not. Nobody calls it Poe's jacket. It is Finn's jacket.
Yeah, when I bought mine, I definitely searched for Finn's jacket. But yeah, I think, you know, I don't know how they got leaked, but I support them. I think they're really great, and I like seeing them.
Yeah. I don't know. Disney took these down really quickly. I can't help but think that these were not meant to come out as quickly as they did, because whenever making Star Wars releases something, like, it's not, Disney doesn't immediately start DMCAing them saying, take your stuff down. But the original gallery that came out on Imgur, it went down in, I think, in 20 minutes.
Ah, that's impressive.
Oh, that is impressive. That is a, we weren't meant to see these.
Yeah.
Well, and the problem is now we have a lot of, I mean, to segue, I suppose, into more news, we're getting leaks about all of the toys.
Yeah.
And you can see that these promotional pictures are now, you know, the backsplash for the toys.
Yeah. They're all over them, and the toys look interesting. Because
the Force Link is really cool. I think that's a pretty cool concept.
Well, is it the same one that they have for the Sphero BB-8 where you can control them with your hands?
No, I think this comes with like a little wristwatch sort of thing that you can use. The Sphero is an app on your phone.
They have one where you can control it on your wrist now. It came out after the Sphero BB-8. It's like an add-on.
What?
Yes.
I have to get that.
Yeah, and you like it moves around and everything. I've seen it at a couple cons when I go by the Sphero section of the Star Wars.
Do you think they're going to make a Sphero of Kylo's BB unit?
Oh my God.
That would be so great.
Oh, shut up and take my money.
I would buy it. I would buy it in a heartbeat.
I would buy it and I would try to like use them at the same time and be like, droid matches.
Well, they race those little BB units now, those little Spheros.
What?
I didn't know they raced them.
They have Sphero races. It's adorable.
That's incredible.
Back to the toys. In addition to the leaked photos we got, we also saw some of the promotional photos for other characters on the backsplashes of the toys. Hux looks sickly, like absolutely sickly.
He does not look good,
No,
and I don't. Yeah,
I'll say he looks almost like jaundiced almost. That's what I thought when I first saw him. It's like his skin just looks really pale and yellow.
And his eyes are sunken in like hardcore.
Yeah.
and his
Like,
hair
I
looks
don't know if we're
thinner.
just being assholes to Donald or what, but
His hair
like,
looks thinner. Like it
yeah,
looks. And I don't know if he like was preparing for some other role and had like a weird overlap, but no, he does not look good.
yeah, but I suppose having to explain why your entire planet just got imploded is kind of a exhausting thing. And then Paige, we got to see Paige got her own toy, which is pretty cool.
That actually makes me think that Paige is going to have a much bigger part than we initially thought.
I
She's
think
also
so too.
Yeah, she's also on the cover of one of the books that was revealed at Comic-Con.
Nice. Yeah. What's interesting though is like actually getting to see like her full outfit. It definitely looks like that's what Finn is wearing in the behind the scenes, that yellow gunner outfit, which I think it would make sense for Finn to fill a gunner position within the Resistance because he was a gunner for Rey, he was a gunner for Poe. It makes sense that, he can shoot things in a ship. So maybe that's why he and Paige know each other, and that's why Paige trusts him, and that's why Paige is like, Rose, go with him.
That makes sense. One thing I do want to say about Paige's costume that I really liked, it really has that World War II pilot era aesthetic to it, and I really like it. And it definitely shows the influence of what's that movie called? 12 O'Clock High. Yeah, it's a World War II movie, and it
It
Paige's
sounds like a Western.
I
it's
know.
it's a black and white World War II movie, and it talks about it really has to deal with the issue of command and that separation of an officer becoming too close to his people, because in the military you get in situations where you have to have that separation of you're sending people out knowing that they could die, and that's why the military has this clear defining line between enlisted and officers give the orders, enlisted members carry them out. And with 12 O'Clock High, it talks about how that line is blurred and whether or not that makes for a good leader. It's really interesting. But I do like the aesthetic in Paige's outfit.
Yeah, absolutely. Is that all we wanted to say about the toys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really,
I'm just, can it be Force Friday so I can scream at Disney, shut up and take my money?
yeah. It looks so good.
Oh, please.
I'm going to be so broke this holiday season.
I'm just looking at these toys like, well,
It's
I don't need
okay.
them, but I'm gonna get them.
Wait a
It's
second.
okay. I already bought the Rey lightsaber, like the $150 can't buy anywhere but Disney parks lightsaber. So that was a fun D23 purchase, and then carrying it around for the rest of the day, I'm like, it's fine, it's mine. My lightsaber.
So call me stupid, but I just noticed that Chewie's toy has a porg in it.
Yeah, because Chewie's gonna have that book about, Chewbacca and the Porgs. Chewie's gonna have like a lot of connection with the Porgs, I think.
So going on to the next story, our next story comes from Star Wars News Net, and this one talks about how a Porg will land on R2D2, and attached in the link below in the description is a picture of, I think, Lumberjack Nick, who drew it, of all these Porgs landing on R2, and it just looks really cute. Does anyone have
Mhm.
anything they like about it or dislike about it? I mean, they're Porgs.
I,
They're cute.
Cute.
the Porgs have already just owned my soul. That's all there is to it.
They're cute. Disney's going to make them into stuffed animals. I will buy 50. And though what is interesting, because you don't see R2 at any point after showing the map in The Force Awakens. So I guess this means that R2 came with Rey on the Falcon to go see
Yeah, because
Luke.
there was that whole thing where Ryan had adjusted the storyline that JJ had, where BB-8 was going to go with Rey, and instead Ryan requested that it be R2-D2 instead because he had other plans for BB-8 and he had other plans for R2-D2.
It makes more sense for R2-D2 to go with Rey though, because I mean
He has the
Rey and
map.
BB-8, yeah, Rey and BB-8 bonded, true, but BB-8 is Poe's droid.
Exactly. And we found out, I think, that the BB units are supposed to be therapy droids.
Yes, that was in the Chuck Wendig novel, or one of the Chuck
Oh,
Wendig books.
So Poe Dameron clearly needs his therapy droid.
okay, that just makes me even like slightly giddy with glee that the First Order was like, no, Kylo Ren needs a therapy droid.
I love it so much.
I mean, patricide tends to take its toll.
You're freaking out, man.
Here's your new BB unit. I don't
It's
need no
jacked
BB
up in a
unit.
way, though. Like, his whole failure with the First Order was that he didn't get BB-8. So they're like, here's a droid you can have.
That's salt to the wound.
Congratulations. It's your runner-up prize.
One of the most interesting things that I'm getting from this R2-D2 sketch is that the versions of the Porgs I've seen have just been like fat little walrus things. And I haven't really imagined them to have legs. Like, not like legs that are visible in any way, shape, or form. And I keep seeing like this art where they have like little spindly bird legs, and I'm like, how? This doesn't make sense. It's like learning that an owl has legs.
Yeah. I mean, I think I always assumed they had legs because I was like, oh, they look like birds. Clearly, they're just birds with fangs.
Well, I think they used the puffins at Skelling Michael as the inspiration for the porgs, and if I remember correctly, puffins do have kind of like, spindly legs that don't seem like they can support the body weight of a bird that's kind of naturally kind of chubby.
Yeah.
I'm pulling up images of puffins right now, and yeah, they have kind of like little tiny thin legs, but they have these big fat webbed feet. One thing I do think is kind of interesting in this article is it says that the porgs with orange feathers are male and the porgs without the orange feathers are female. And it's kind of small and kind of, you don't really need to know it, but I like to know it, and I think it adds all the more interest.
I like that they've come up with enough of a backstory and species for these that they know which is male and which is female. That kind of just makes me happy.
It makes me kind of wonder if they plan on using that fact for any reason. Like, if, like, Rey says, oh, he's so cute, and Luke's like, that's a girl, you can tell because of the feathers.
Aww.
Or because you were saying that the porgs electrocute things. If it's like,
no, he electrocutes them.
Okay, but if it's something like, you have to electrocute the males because they eat whatever, but the females are fine, so you only attack the males.
Oh yeah, like you kill female mosquitoes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
Just makes me super excited for the porgs, and I hope that they are more than just a vehicle to sell toys. Because they're cute and they've already have
They're
my money.
absolutely a vehicle to sell toys. Like, I'm not even gonna front. Like, that is 100% what they are, and I'm not gonna pretend it's not.
But they're so cute and they do it so well, and I'm gonna have so many Porg plushies and Funko Pops and God, Disney, shut up and take my money.
Oh no, a Porg Funko Pop? I can't even imagine. My heart's already like bursting.
God, and it's gonna be like a con exclusive too. That's just what I'm thinking of. Is if we're done talking about the Porgs, that's actually a great segue into Kylo Ren's TIE silencer.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's sexy.
It is, and they actually Mattel was selling it, like the toy, at Comic-Con.
Oh.
And I didn't know that until my friend came back. I was like, oh my God, you did Mattel. And she said, yeah, it wasn't that bad. And I got this and held it up that she bought it for herself. So they're already selling it. And I was like, ooh.
I need it.
It looks new and different. And they're already marketing it.
That's actually pretty cool that they're like, I mean, they're being pretty open with all of their toys, and I mean, they're not trying to release the toys right now, but the fact that some of them are getting released is pretty cool in that regard. That TIE silencer is sick, dude. I want it.
I'm not
I,
much of a Lego person, but I might have to buy it.
yeah, I also liked the comment on Twitter. I forget who responded as somebody asked. It might have been the Star Wars Twitter. How fast can it do the Kessel Run? And the response was, Kylo Ren will tell you 11 parsecs.
Faster than my old man's.
Basically, I was like, A, he would. B, I need that as a scene in the movie.
Parsec is a matter of distance.
But that means that he has to navigate the asteroid field. So I hope in the Han Solo movie we actually see the Kessel Run.
Oh, if we don't, I quit. Like, that's all there is.
I hope so. I don't. I have things to say about the Han Solo movie, which it's going to be like over 6 years of Han's life. So it sounds like they're just trying to do like a biopic, but from
I think it's not. I think they're skipping over 6 years, maybe. I think maybe they're going to show, like, his. And see, here's the thing is, I don't know. Like, are we going to see his family? Like, are we actually getting, like, info on who Han's family is?
I don't
Or
know.
is this just going to be like, we're going to start with this lovable rogue?
I don't know. And it kind of pissed me off at D23. Like, this is the only thing that pissed me off at D23. Not even the overnight line pissed me off. Was they announced this new character, basically, or not new character, but this new actress for whatchamacallit, for Han Solo. And it was like they threw up, okay, we're doing Han Solo. Everybody knows we're doing it. Here's Han, here's Lando, here's Woody Harrelson, here's Emilia Clarke, and here's Phoebe Waller-Bridge. And I'm like, wait, what? She's new.
She's not. I knew about her.
Oh, how did I not know about her?
Is she the one who's going to be playing the droid, or who's something related to a droid in the Han Solo movie?
I believe so. Maybe. I don't know.
It seemed like it just hadn't been publicized that she was going to be there, and they just like kind of threw her up. We're like, here she is. We're not going to mention anything about it. And
well, they're keeping a lot of the characters under wraps. It's like, here's Han and here's Lando, and we're good.
Well, and I'm on the IMDb page, and apparently they've added Thandie Newton.
Oh yeah, I knew about her too.
And Warwick Davis.
Oh yeah, that was just announced.
But very few people have characters.
Yeah, they're keeping that shit locked up tight.
I'm okay with it.
I get that they're not wanting to say a whole lot about it, especially with the giant mess that's happened with it lately, but I think positive things. I don't want it to fail, but yeah.
I think what everybody needs to know about the Han Solo movie is you should at least give it a chance, and you should at least try to go see it, because if you want any other anthology movies about any other established character, this one needs to do well.
Yes, and that I absolutely I agree with it. I think people like with Colin Trevorrow, they want him to fail as a director, but if he does a bad job, that's not good for Star Wars as a whole. You want them to be good. You don't want to just watch the world burn, because that's bad for you if you like Star Wars.
And Disney, clearly with Han Solo, and they did it with Rogue One, they are not above saying, it's not working out, we're getting another director. They will replace him in a hot second. So everybody's like, oh no, he's going to do a bad job. I'm like, if he does a bad job, they will replace him.
So all this talk about Han Solo was actually a great kind of intro to our next story, which is about the Han Solo composer. It was recently revealed, John Powell. I was really excited when I saw him, because he scored some of my favorite animated movies of all time. And I was so, so, so happy to see that he's going to be scoring the anthology films.
Yeah, it's interesting that they're getting different people to do the films that aren't within the Skywalker saga.
I kind of like that.
Yeah, I think it gives it a different vibe.
I was about to say, it gives it a different feel, and it makes, like, they're still going to have riffs on the traditional music, just like Rogue One did, but it's also, it lets you know that you're in the same universe, but distinctly not.
Yeah, I feel that.
Even Chiquino, which not a lot of people, that's not true. Some people liked his score for Rogue One, some people didn't. I didn't fully appreciate his score for Rogue One until I saw the Rogue One music panel at Celebration Orlando, and you actually got to study the themes and the motifs of what he incorporated into the score, and how he definitely paid tribute to John Williams in little tiny subtle themes from A New Hope that you would never notice unless you're looking for them and you're paying attention to them. But it still sounds like something different. It doesn't sound like John Williams. It's a very much a Michael Giacchino score.
I like it.
I like
Man,
it.
he has done a lot of movies.
Yes, he has. My favorite animated movie or American animated movie ever is The Road to El Dorado, and
Yeah.
it has the same vibe as Han Solo. Two dudes who kind of do really illegal stuff, and they get in trouble, and it's awesome. I was so happy when I learned that he was the one who was going to be scoring Han Solo.
Yeah, man, I like this. He's got a
Yeah.
lot of good stuff that I've enjoyed under his belt. So I'm definitely looking forward to it.
I like the mix that he has too.
He did all the How to Train Your Dragons.
Yeah, I think he did all the Kung Fu Pandas.
He did Shrek.
Yeah. Well, let's not talk about Shrek.
You don't like Shrek, like the original Shrek?
I like the sequel better, and then the second sequel is just awful, and I don't want to admit the fourth one exists. Oh, he did the Lorax. Aw.
Yeah, he's done so much stuff. He's such a talented musician.
He did
He did
Rio. I
Jumper.
love that movie. Yeah, he's got a lot of. Oh man.
I think he has a good like mix of music too, so it's not all like animated. There's a bunch of adult movies, like Bourne movies, and then there's P.S. I Love You. So
Yeah,
I
he's
think
got
he
like
has,
romance movies, action movies, kids movies, dramas. He got all kinds of stuff in here. Like he is a really well-rounded composer.
so I think it
Absolutely.
would be interesting to see him do this because it's definitely if they were to do Han Solo right, you're going to need to make themes for all of these events.
He also did the music in Prince of Egypt too, or at least parts of it.
What? That's one of the best movies ever made,
Yeah,
animated or not.
I'm not
I
even
need to
religious, and
watch.
that movie is beautiful.
No,
I
I
need to
think
watch it.
he's gonna be pretty bamf. I'm into seeing how the Han Solo music goes especially because I can't pronounce Italian last names, but the guy who did Rogue One, he had so little time to actually do the score because I think he was brought in after the fact. Like he wasn't the
Yeah,
original composer. They changed him out when they went a different direction with the
I thought that it
movie.
was because I thought it was Alexander Desplat. I probably pronounced that wrong. Was the original composer, and it wasn't that they went a different direction with the movie. It was he agreed to do another project, and it was taking longer, so he had to back out.
Ah,
Not, and so they had to scramble to find the other composer. Um, I seem to remember it was, he backed out because of an overlapping project and he just couldn't get it done. But I could entirely be wrong, and it could have been we went a different direction for the movie, but that seems to be what I remember from a while ago.
yeah. The way I heard it is that they had the movie set a certain way, and they told him it was going to go that way, and then they changed it, and they went back to him, and they're like, "Hey, whatever you've done, scrap it." And he was like, "No."
I'm not
Uh-huh.
sure exactly what happened with the original composer, but I do know that Giacchino only had 4.5 weeks to do the Rogue One soundtrack.
He did a great job,
It's so good. It's
and he has the best album like song titles of everyone.
yes. Like I don't
His
even
alternate pun versions.
I don't even like the Star Trek reboots. I'm not super into them, but their music is gorgeous. The song "An Enterprising Young Man," I can listen to that over and over again because even though I don't like the movies that much, the score is so beautiful.
That sounds cool. So we're going on to our next thing of still stuff that was announced. I'm going through the list of books that was announced at Comic-Con, which really was going to the Lucasfilm booth like every day and be like, ooh, new poster. It's intense. Um, so it looks like we're getting a bunch of comics.
Yeah.
We're getting uh, Mace Windu. We're getting Thrawn. We have the Phasma comic, and that looks to be what that is. We're getting a Ultimate Star Wars Lego.
That'll
Uh,
be fun.
Star Wars Forces of Destiny, Tales of Hope and Courage. I think that one was actually, as told by Maz Kanata, I think that one was actually on sale at Comic-Con.
Oh, that would make
Um,
sense. Do you think that are they just like story versions of the Forces of Destiny we've already seen?
I didn't actually look at it because I kind of kept asking when is Claudia Gray going to be there. Um, we have
Canto
a
Bite.
kids Canto Bite. That looks interesting because it looks
Yeah,
like it's going to
it's
be.
an
Mhm.
anthology of sorts. So,
Yeah. We
and
have.
for the uninitiated, Canto Bite is the casino planet that we've been seeing, like in the behind the scenes. So that'll be fun to kind of get stories from there.
It was the location or the planet where they filmed in Dubrovnik.
Yeah, Game of Thrones. What up?
eh, there's a couple of kids' books, one about Leia. It looks like we're getting Star Wars: The Power of the Force as a kids' book. Star Wars: Tales of the Force as a little golden book. And then these are the two that caught my eye super quickly: is Journey to Star Wars: The Last Jedi, the Legends of Luke Skywalker, and Star Wars: Leia, Princess of Alderaan. So I was like, wait, you're telling me that book specifically about Luke, and his cover has all the stages of him that we've seen, and a book about Leia on Alderaan as a young Leia book, and that these are like the journey to the Last
Uh,
Jedi.
yeah, well, it's interesting because I think the legends of Luke Skywalker are told from a third-person perspective of someone who's just heard of Luke Skywalker. And so it becomes one of these things like, did he really do all these things? Like, did he save the galaxy? And so it's more of like a hearsay book than like a storytelling, whereas Leia is prequel.
It is it, and I have the paperback version of Lost Stars came with it. Comes with um, like an intro to the Princess of Alderaan.
Nice. And
Awesome.
it's by Claudia Gray, who I think is one of the most talented writers in the Star Wars, novelization
And it's
She,
super nice.
she's so
group.
good. Um, she was at Raleigh, not Animazement, I think Raleigh SuperCon last week, and I wasn't able to go because of moving and packing and all that fun stuff. But one of my friends from school, she was able to go and she met Claudia Gray and she was just so nice and so kind. And she was there promoting her own book. But from what she said, that she had a really, really fun time writing the Princess of Alderaan.
Ugh, that's
She's
amazing.
she's so nice in person, and like was willing to like talk and take pictures and listen to anything that you've said. I was like, oh my God, I love these books. She's like, I love writing them. And so much fun.
And then we're getting a Phasma book and
Any
the
of
Phasma comic, so that'll be
Yeah.
interesting. Do you think the Phasma book will be an origin story, whereas the Captain Phasma will be more directed to what she was doing during the movie? Because it's got Rey and Kylo fighting in the forest on the background of hers, so I'm wondering if the comic is more.
I do hope the comic is more almost what she's doing, like how she kind of escaped the trash compactor. And
On GMA, she was like, "Did I go in the trash compactor, or was that just a threat? You don't know, do you?" And I'm like, "I don't know."
I don't know. Thank you, Gwendolyn Christie.
She was in my dream last night, and she was wonderful.
Is
She
she
was
fat?
taking pictures with me at a convention. It's just so
Aw.
nice in my dream.
I was gonna say, is she as Phasma or as Brienne of Tarth?
Just as her, like just as her gorgeous, beautiful self.
She's so pretty, isn't she?
Yeah.
Amazing.
They made a joke about when they brought her up on stage at D23. Like, and we've asked about Game of Thrones, but she said nothing and she won't say anything. Like,
She doesn't
aw.
need to. Everything's leaked already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so then it looks like we're getting a lot of like activity books. We got a coloring book,
I
and
know.
it's funny that this one says including new characters and ships. Oh,
That
I've already
means
got my ships.
that means we're gonna get the silencer. And
Yeah.
I see
Star
what you did
Wars.
there.
Star Wars Build a Droid. That'll be fun. Glow in the
Glow in
dark
the dark.
starfighters.
Like I don't need to put that on in my room, but I do.
I know I have a very dark ceiling. I think it's time.
Star Wars Annual 2018.
I don't know what that is.
Neither do I.
It sounds like a yearbook.
Is it?
Stealth mission book and model.
It
Yeah,
looks
that
like.
sounds cool. You get an X-wing.
See, it looks like ship schematics because I've seen like to scale schematics of all of the Star Wars ships and Star Destroyers and X-Wings and TIEs, so I wonder if the annual is something along those lines.
Oh,
Maybe.
maybe I
That
figured it
would
out.
make
Okay,
sense.
so the next one is Art of Coloring, Journey to the Force Awakens, and you have everybody on the cover. But you have porgs, and the one that's orange and is male has the fangs, where the females don't have the fangs protruding, so maybe that's it. Watch out for the orange ones, they bite because they're
Oh,
male.
And
I
that's why
like it.
and that's why Luke has to shock them.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Um,
The wooden BB-8 book, I am buying that 100%.
That's so
then
cute.
you can make an A-wing, which means they're
Yes.
coming back. Star Wars, absolutely everything you need to know, updated and expanded.
And then papercraft, that's fun. Papercraft
Yeah.
ship models.
Star Wars made easy.
I just love these little like line arts that they have. Kylo looks so dumb.
He does.
Yeah, it's
it's
good
a
stuff. I'm interested.
it's an intricate costume, and they don't always translate well when you just have to narrow it or simplify it to line art. I don't, it looks
Yeah.
Oh, the Star Wars Stormtrooper Beyond the Armor, forward by John Boyega.
ooh.
What? Oh, yee.
Yeah.
That looks like the old school Stormtrooper mask, yeah?
Yeah, so I think it's going to be about all Stormtroopers.
That's cool.
We have the Rebel Files.
That looks awesome as hell. Like, I can't even front. Like, I don't know what that is. I want it. Like, it's got this little projector thing. It opens up like a briefcase. Like, it's necessary. I need it
For reasons.
for a lot of reasons.
And then we have the stuff that looks like they're going to be on sale December 15th.
Yeah, stuff that they
Chewie,
release later.
yeah, Chewie and the Porgs. Star Wars: The Last Jedi. Cobalt Squadron. That was it. That's what I was trying to remember. It looks like Rey, or that Rose, not Rey, and Paige are part of Cobalt Squadron. I
wonder who that
speak.
other person is.
I'm not sure. I'm looking at the picture, and it's not. It doesn't look like Poe.
Doesn't look like
Yeah.
anybody.
Yeah.
Maybe it's Poe. I mean, maybe they just drew him badly.
We have.
I mean, sorry.
That's okay.
I'm so sorry, Phil Noto.
It can happen. We have Rose and Finn's mission. 5-minute stories with everybody on the cover. World of Reading.
Rey's journey.
Yes.
The art of Star Wars.
Oh,
I want that.
I can't. I want it. I want it so bad.
I just want that that cover as like a poster.
I hope they sell it.
Yeah,
as a
for
print
sure.
at what is it? Bottleneck Gallery, who does a lot of the prints for Lucasfilm.
Yeah.
I hope they sell it as a print.
Yeah, we have the visual dictionary, incredible cross sections.
It looks like ships.
Bomber.
Star Wars: The Last Jedi Bomber Command.
Oh, that's part of what Cobalt Squadron. There we go. Got it.
And it looks like they're going to talk about more of the aliens because the movie making magic of Star Wars creatures and aliens has a after December 15th publishing date.
Oh, that's interesting. I wonder what they're going to talk about in there that's hidden.
I don't know.
Oh,
What
man.
are they going to talk about in BB-8? Awaken to the force of breakfast and brunch. I am going to throw a brunch party and just be like, look at all this food.
I mean, maybe it's going to talk about how to cook porgs.
Pork was just code for chicken, and it's talking about chicken recipes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds normal.
awaken your inner force with 29 intergalactic breakfast recipes, including Admiral Akbar's mascanada frittatas and more.
Oh, this is hilarious. Do you
I'm
think
like,
they've got one for Benicio del Toro's character that's like a black and white cookie?
I hope so. And I will literally be like, everybody, I know it's December and I know that it's close to Christmas, but I'm having brunch.
Well,
And it's
that's
Star Wars
fine.
themed.
I was like, Jen, don't
Yep.
you have a December birthday?
I do. It's December 15th. So.
Yes!
Yep. Mine is December 16th, so I'd just be like, hey, you make me Star Wars breakfast in bed.
Yeah. I'm going to take the recipes and use them for the next May the 4th party I throw.
Ooh.
Yeah, then we get a Heroes of the Galaxy, Fight the First Order, packed with facts you need to read. Star Wars The Last Jedi, book and model, The Silencer, or TIE Silencer.
Oh, I'm definitely going to make a TIE silencer. And then a sticker book.
A sticker book, which, So we have Kylo Ren with his mask back on and his cape.
Looking like a little church boy.
And we have Rose and Finn together.
And we have a stormtrooper with a friggin' battle axe.
Yep. And a porg.
With its spindly little legs. I can't get over it.
Last Jedi sound book.
Oh my god, I had those books so often when I was a kid, just the dumb ones where you push the buttons and they make noises. I'm ecstatic for this one.
Yeah. And then we have novelizations and a sticker book. So it looks like there's a lot coming.
Yeah.
Oh man, the junior novelization and the novelization I am waiting for so hard.
See, this is actually a perfect way into our next story, which is Stephen Fry is writing the Last Jedi novelization.
No. Jason Fry.
Or Jason
Stephen
Fry.
Fry is an actor.
Yeah, I was like, wait, Stephen Fry?
I can't talk. I can't brain. I'm tired. I think it's showing. Jason Fry.
Though Stephen Fry does do really good audiobook, not readings.
He does.
Maybe that's why I autopiloted to Stephen Fry, because I've heard it. I've seen it somewhere on a book somewhere. Damn it.
His Harry Potter reading is really good, except he can't pronounce some words. And when he asked J.K. Rowling to not put those words in future books, she was like, "I'm going to use it as much as possible."
Nice.
Because Joanne is petty, and I like her. But yeah, interesting. I wonder if there's a reason why they didn't go with Alan Dean Foster again.
People said that the Force Awakens novelization at times was and I've read parts of it. It's not the worst book ever. It's not the best book ever. It's a novelization. Maybe he wanted more money, or maybe he looked at it and said, I don't want to do this.
Yeah, writing a book from a script is not easy, because you have to sit there and you have to add details where there aren't any. And so
think of it and we have our wonderful PowerPoint transitions in the movie, and in the books you can't just do that unless you end a chapter, but you kind of have to say, all right, how did Kylo Ren get from meeting with Snoke to being on a spaceship, or supplemental conversations that we're going to expand. And I imagine that all of those have to be checked and double checked as well by Lucasfilm.
Yeah, and he's actually getting a lot of heat right now from people who think that this theory is a year and a half old, and it's a year and a half debunked, but people are back on the whole Han Solo ignited the lightsaber to save his son sort of theory.
Oh, yeah.
And even though that thing is super debunked, there's a line in the novelization that says, Ren ignited the lightsaber, and people are like, well, he's just lying, he's making it up. So now he's getting heat because he put a detail in there that wasn't in the movie. I'm like, it's clearly in the movie.
It is. I mean, I have a friend that was very much on the Han ignited the saber idea, just because he wanted to, and he was talking about a redeemed Kylo Ren, or why would this happen? And I was like, okay, that's fine, but you watch it and you're like, no, he's lighting it. We can all see that.
Yep.
If not Han, if Kylo hadn't ignited the lightsaber, it wouldn't have passed the Lucasfilm story group. They would have gone, nope, you can't.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, you can't have such a glaring canon error in the novelization, which is an extra form of canon and information, and they're secondary only to the movies.
And plus, it's based off the script, where the script says that Kylo Ren ignites the lightsaber.
So it's just
Take that.
Dumb.
everyone has their theories that they're invested in. It's like if it's not if there's evidence to the contrary, it's like they feel threatened when it's evidence one way or the other. It's all fantasy. We're just all supposed to have fun.
Yep. Oh well. Whatever.
Indeed.
All right. What else?
So I guess the final piece of news that we have talks about Luke's X-Wing from The Last Jedi. And this one comes from a piece of promotional art. Yeah, and looks like it's from a tie-in book. And then there was also a picture that came from a little Japanese pinball handheld set that also had a picture of Luke's X-Wing. And in the picture, it looks like it's submerged under the water in Ahch-To. So, did he crash it there? Do you think Luke purposefully sunk it there? And how do you think this ties into the scenes from the behind-the-scenes reel of Rey going into the water?
I am for Luke having taken his X-Wing to Ahch-To, and then gotten his supplies out, and been like, all right, Force lift the X-Wing, Force drop the X-Wing into the water. I am never leaving. I left a map. People can find me. Clearly, that's what I'm doing. I like that idea.
It's very dramatic of him. I can't even stand it in a lot of ways. That he's just like, screw everything. Just goodbye, X-Wing. I'm never going home. Never.
And don't come find me. P.S. I left
Here's a map. I'm going to my room.
But I left it in 2 pieces. 2!
Hey, Kylo has to get his tantrums from somewhere.
Yeah, for real. I mean, the Skywalkers are notorious for their attitudes, so I think it runs in my family pretty hard.
Gotcha. Yeah, they have a penchant for drama.
Oh boy, that's an understatement.
Just, he
I
got
have to save my wife, man. You cut off my legs, man. Anakin.
I love Anakin.
I like how I'm like, it's all Skywalker drama, but the only thing going through my head is, I have the high ground, Anakin!
What does that even mean?
He literally had the high ground! He was up on the ridge! He had the high ground! I was like, this is the
That
most
never
literal...
stopped Obi-Wan when he was fighting Darth Maul. He's one to talk about high ground, alright? Whatever. But the X-Wing is interesting because I think a lot of people were wondering how he got to the island, and because nobody really saw any other ship.
You mean he didn't force teleport himself there?
Is that a thing?
No, it's not.
It should be.
All I can think of is Dragon Ball Z instant transmission of, I almost said Goku, of Luke going, popping in, popping out.
He's actually, oh my god, that's how he's Snoke. That's the Snoke theory.
Oh, that's it. So, in 2 places at once.
Oh my god.
Now I'm Snoke, and now I'm Luke.
Alright. Well, we solved it. Done. No need to watch the movie. We figured it out.
Problem solved. Series over.
But yeah, I think it's pretty, I think it's so Skywalker of him. Yeah, I'm going to be really interested to see if we do have, the X-Wing lift from the water scene, or if he's just going to, pop on the Falcon.
Oh, what if it, what if it is something where, he says, you are trained as a Jedi once you can lift this from the water, and that is the only way I will leave. Because if you're going to be the last Jedi, you have to be the last trained Jedi. Because her new outfit is called Jedi Training.
Yeah, but it's not, Jedi Rey. It's Jedi in training. Luke never completed his training either. I don't know who the hell he thinks he is to sit there and pretend that he's
a master. Well, the toys are calling him Master Luke.
All right, Luke. Just because the rest of them are dead doesn't mean you get to be the boss.
Look, there are 3 members of the Jedi Council that are still talking, and they are Yoda and Obi-Wan and Anakin, and I'm sure Anakin's like, he's the master. Just me.
This is nepotism.
Anakin's like, so? It's always worked for me.
So, I'm just
Yeah,
claiming.
because the Force is his dad.
Anakin be like, I fail to see the problem with this.
The Force willed that I have kids too. I will that he should be a master. Also, Leia's a Jedi master. Fight me.
I can't fight you. You're a ghost. Fight you, I will.
Judge me by my size, do you? Oh, man.
Oh, boy. All right. Anyway.
This is a great one.
Your Snoke theory sucks this week is Kylo Ren a double agent? Did he warn the Resistance about Star Killer bases impeding attack? Matt Martin's Twitter answered saying that who warned the Resistance about Star Killer base is a story that has yet to be told. So people are thinking that it was Kylo Ren and that he's a double agent. As much as personally I would love this theory to be for realsies, I don't think it is.
Yeah, I'm trying to find out what I'm trying to think of what because I've only heard this as like a hearsay, like, oh, what if Kylo's a double agent? I've never actually heard anyone kind of detail the theory out, so I don't really know it all too well. I'm assuming it's just based on the idea that we don't know who it is and that Kylo always looks like a little puppy every time someone mentions maybe killing his mom.
And he would be placed perfectly to be a double agent because Leia says that she's always, in the books, it's clear Leia's always had a connection with Ben, even in utero. So no matter what he's done, he still has that connection. So we're not transmitting anything to the Resistance, but the Resistance still knows how. Meanwhile, Kylo's sitting in his room going, "Hey, mommy, they're gonna blow up the planet. Can you get off of it?"
I think the main problem with this theory is that it's not a Force kind of communication between Ren and Leia that alerts them to the attack. It's someone saying, someone handing Leia a piece of paper like, "Here you go, we're the next target."
Yeah, like they intercepted like First Order intelligence, and that's what it happened to say.
I think there is maybe a double agent running around within the First Order, but I don't know if that's a story we're going to get told.
I'm sure there's a double agent in the First Order. There's a double agent in the Resistance. There's probably somebody selling secrets to both sides. That is the validity of which is how much each side is paying. DJ, yes.
Mm-hmm.
That would be a good story to have been told. Like, oh, hey, DJ's the one who let us know that they were going to attack us, and I don't know how. I don't know why he would have been on Starkiller, but maybe he has like one of those old ham radios, like that movie Nightcrawler, where Jake Gyllenhaal listens to like the police chatter and stuff and gets the scenes before the rest.
Yeah,
like, or maybe he just has a radio.
Or, we don't know everything, so maybe his code is so big because it's full of secret transmitters. And he just has managed to stumble his way onto enough things or planted on enough people that even, it falls off when you get to Starkiller Base, but it's still in the right place. So he has spies all over.
Well, isn't there...
Well, and it's interesting because, I don't think the Hosnian system knew anything was coming, even though, like, Corsella is part of the Resistance, and I don't think she knew that they were all about to be obliterated.
It's clear that that's not there.
Well, wasn't it confirmed? Wasn't it confirmed that there is going to be, like, a hacker type guy in The Last Jedi? They call it, like, a slicer.
Yeah, that's Justin Theroux's character.
Yeah. So, if that's the case, he could have sent the information to the Resistance, but we don't know what side this person is fighting on, or if he's just playing both sides.
I think he's the person that they're supposed to meet up with at Canto Bight.
Gotcha.
Oh.
I don't know if that's true. I feel like I just remember a rumor somewhere that Justin Theroux was on the Dubrovnik set.
But that would make sense if he
Maybe.
was then, and they're meeting up with him because we have no idea how they get to Canto Bight. So if it is, we're meeting up with the guy that got the plan that told us that Starkiller Base was aiming for us to kind of see what else they have planned, go have at it. That would make more sense as to why they go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I guess that would kind of make it more difficult for how they meet DJ or Zen or whatever the hell his name's going to be. That would make more sense meeting, as someone who's actually a hacker versus, oh man, what if, nope, I'm theorizing too much in my head. But yeah, as far as Kylo Ren being the double agent goes, I think that's probably a solid 5 on an impossible theory.
It's, again, as much as I want it to be true, it really is not. First of all, no Skywalker is chill enough to be a double agent. So yeah, it's a 5.
I agree. It's a unanimous 5. This theory sucks. I want it to be true, but it's no. Why would Kylo threaten his position in the First Order when he kills his father not 20 minutes later on screen? Doesn't make logical sense. So 5.
Yeah,
5 Snokes.
unless Leia was like, man, I really hate Han. Be a double agent, but still kill your father. I'm like, but
I'm going to give that theory a 5 as well.
yeah. I'm like, but that's a little too Game of Thronesy.
We need a few more incestuous relationships for it to be Game of Thronesy.
Well,
twins did kiss. Not more than that, but they did kiss.
And then they shoved Chewie out a window.
I'm sorry. That's awful. I'm going to hell. That's funny.
My boyfriend just started watching Game of Thrones, so I just remembered Bran getting shoved out the window. So I'm like, all right, that's not a spoiler. It happens in the first episode. Watch Game of Thrones.
Exactly. Or watch The Honest Trailer.
It's like in the first 10 minutes of the first episode too, so like it's seriously not spoilery.
No.
Yeah, it's like literally, God. Anyway, so is that about all we want to say about news and our theories for this episode?
Yeah. That pretty much does
Alrighty.
it. So once again, thank you everyone for listening to episode 3 of Council of the Whills. If you can, please give us a thumbs up, comment, and subscribe to us. We also have an email address if you want to send us questions. It's councilofthewhills@gmail.com. Once again, thank you for listening and have a good day. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.